So, welcome to Breaking Ground in Paradise. My name is Michelle Bourdeau. I'm your host tonight. I'm with RealtorDR here in the Dominican Republic, and I am super excited to be able to bring all of this information to hopefully get to one day meet all of you and hand you the keys to your new home. So, a little bit about me really quickly. I will not drag this out. I know some people do. I am originally from Canada. I have been here for 24 years now, almost starting my 25th year in November. Well, actually in like 2 weeks. I've learned to windsurf. I stayed here because of it. I'm also a massage therapist who translated my private practice into an award-winning spa that I have now. I have purchased homes here, more than one. So I have gone through the process both as a client and I am now a realtor. So I also own multiple businesses and I'm an entrepreneur. And tonight I am your guide through pre-construction in the Dominican Republic. So I know some of you, hopefully all of you know that we're based in the Dominican Republic, but why is the Dominican Republic so wonderful? And do you know a little bit about the island? So just to give you a little heads up on where we're located, we are right between Cuba and Puerto Rico. We are on the island of Hispaniola that shares the other third of the island with Haiti. We have an incredibly diverse topography. We have the highest mountain peaks in all of the Caribbean, as well as we have lush rainforest type areas. We have rivers, we have lagoons, we've got desert areas, places that are arid. We've got incredible produce production on this island. It's a very fertile, wonderfully diverse place. The population is about 11 and a half million, I would say now. And actually, the other Haiti is actually almost at the similar population as well. So we're just over 20 million people on this little island. And for our fun Canadians that are here, we're about the third. We're about the third population of all of Canada right here on this great little island. But there's still plenty of space, don't you worry. Now, some great reasons why you would consider investing here in the Dominican Republic, and there are many of them. The Dominican Republic has an incredibly vibrant culture. The Dominican people are unbelievably open, welcoming, and there's no better place to, for example, get lost or break down on the side of the road. There will always be someone willing to lend a hand and help you out. We have gorgeous landscapes, like I was just sharing with you. It is warm all year round. We don't do snow here, not at all. You get more for less here. So you'd be able to purchase a property that would perhaps be slightly larger than one maybe you could purchase, say, in Toronto, for example. We have quality food at great prices here. The food here is divine. In this area, especially, we have an international community, and those people from all of those countries have brought their wonderful culinary skills. We have island life. It's a bonus. We have amazing beaches. We have the fastest growing economy in Latin America. We have a very booming tourism industry. This country continues to break goals year after year after year for the number of tourists that come to the island every year. We have a very stable government, and this government loves foreign investment, and they make it very, very easy for you to come to this country and invest in a wonderful property or a pre-construction home. Oh, we also have affordable healthcare too. There's many reasons. I could go on and on and on, but I know what you're here for. And so we're going to get right to it. So getting in on the ground floor, let's dive into talking about construction and what that means for you. Now, it might seem obvious. However, this is where you start. You get to decide which type of new construction property is best for you. So here in the Dominican Republic, with our vast array of international expats that live here, we also have an incredible variety of properties and projects that can meet your needs and be that dream place or investment that you've always wanted to have. So you get to decide, is it a condo? Where? Okay, is it a home because there's home projects as well? Or is it a land lot? Did you want to purchase a piece of property and create your own? So all of those things are great questions. And one of the best ways to answer that, if you don't know very distinctly exactly which one you want to have, then move to step 2, which is find yourself a buyer's agent for your new construction. Why is that so important? Can I just go to the developer and I'll just do it that way? And it's just, it's just there, it's done. You could, but we also have to remember our wonderful developers are there for one reason, which is to sell you a property. And they may not necessarily be looking out for your best interests. And they may not necessarily, be thinking about the sale from your side and the things that you need. So if you need to find a lawyer for yourself, we're here to help that. If you need to get walked through the process of transferring money to this country, we're here to help you with that. If there are concerns that you have about the contracts that you're signing, we are here to help you walk through all of those pieces so that you are incredibly confident in the purchase that you're making, and you know that you're making the right one with a great agent standing beside you. All right, so you found a great agent. We got a couple on here tonight. We'll get to that later. Step 3, we get to research our neighborhoods. We've got a few up here on the North Coast. We've got Sosua, and in Sosua, we have Casa Linda, we have Sosua Ocean Village, we have Serenity Sosua. There are many, many different possibilities just in Sosua. And then you have to know what's great about Sosua. Where are the schools? Where are the hospitals? How close, how easy is it to get to the beach? All of those things. So again, we as agents would be delighted to help you with that and to give you a lot of information that can help you make an informed decision. We also have Cabarete. In Cabarete, we have several different developments. We have 222 out in Playa Encuentro that Gigi's going to walk us through tonight. We have Marial, we have Trinitarias. There's a few going on in Cabarete as well. And what's the difference? Are you a water sports enthusiast? Is this where you want to be? Are you a surfer? Do you want to be close to the waves and all of the action? Getting to know your neighborhood will, again, make sure that you purchase the property that's right for you in the right location. Step 4, research prospective builders and any previous projects they've completed. This is a great question to ask and a very important question to ask. And again, this is something that we would be delighted to help you with and provide you with information, as more often than not, we as your agents and your brokerages have gone through and done some of this homework for you ahead of time. And we encourage you to ask and make sure that you feel confident in the developer and the builder that you get to move forward with, regardless of what we've said. Okay. Step 5. So we found a property. We know we love it. We're in the right place. Now we have to go and move forward and do the actual thing. You got to do the thing. And you get to understand the purchase agreement and the payment schedules, because every development will be a little bit different. There's some similarities in the process as you walk through them, and we'll talk about that. But usually there's a schedule of payments. There's a certain amount to reserve. Then there's several different payments based on where they're at the stage of construction. Okay. And each one for each project will have its own. And so we'll happily walk you through all of that, letting you know how much money is due, when, what documents you're going to be signing, because there are things like offer to purchase, right? Promise of sale. Those are 2 different documents. All right. Things like that we will happily make sure that you completely understand before you move forward into a purchase. And you want to make sure that you fully understand these things, because it's your money and it's going to be your property and your investment. So it's incredibly important. All right. So let's talk about the pros and cons. Sometimes pre-construction can be the ideal thing for you, and sometimes it might not be. Okay. Oh, my electricity just went out. I'm hoping, am I still with you all? Yes? Awesome. Okay. And sometimes in the DR, when it rains, our electricity pops out, but we have generators. Oh, and there they go. That was a great example of how the majority of places here have a generator. And it's actually a great question to ask when you're purchasing a property is, do they have a generator? Because this does happen once in a while, but you saw it was only off for 2 seconds. Now, pros. Okay, everything's brand new. Oops, went too far. There we go. A big perk of buying a new property is that no one's touched anything. It's all yours. It is brand new, new appliances, new fixtures. You can be sure that, that you will have a warranty, at least on the appliances, for the appliance warranty, and you're unlikely to be burdened by surprises when you purchase. All right. New construction means that building is built to today's standards. So it eliminates the possibility because they're going to be following today's construction standards with current materials. So I'll tell you a quick little story about my house that I have. My house was built somewhere in the late 80s, early 90s. And when I purchased it in 2015, somewhere in 2016, I renovated one of the bathrooms, and they found like 1/4-inch electrical PVC piping was used for the water tubes. So that happens sometimes. So when you've got a really, really older building, this is one of the perks and the pros of going new construction is, that's not going to happen. You're going to rock up and your bathrooms are going to be the way they're supposed to be. New construction means that you can personalize the house exactly the way you like it. Now, there will be limits with each individual builder on things you can personalize ahead of time, but the paint, the furniture, all of those things that get to be all you, and you don't have to go back in and go, I don't like that. I don't like that. It's all you. So the next bonus is that your payments are tied to the construction process, so that not all the funds are usually due at one time. This allows you for flexibility in organizing and transferring your money, which oftentimes, if you're putting in an all cash deal, you need time to move money out of different investments and things like that, and you have the flexibility to do so. So that is a great advantage. Okay, so what could maybe be the cons? Why would maybe, pre-construction not be for you? And it's an important question to ask yourself. So we have to vet builders. You have to take some time, even if you're purchasing a pre-existing home, to do a little bit of research with your experienced agent. Can't stress that enough. If you don't do your research, you could wind up with a new constructed house that's riddled with problems. All right. So you want to make sure you do your research. Feel free to access the builders. We'll help you with that and get an honest opinion of their knowledge and any previous work that they've done in the area. All right. Your personalization could get expensive. I don't know about any of you, but sometimes if I am left to my own devices, I might spend a little bit more than I should. I don't know about you. So if you're the type of person who struggles to stick to a budget, then obviously pre-construction should be something that you need to take a moment and make sure that you're making the right decision. All right. Your move-in date, it's not guaranteed. Things happen. Most of the time, most builds happen according to plan. However, we can't control the weather. You can't control things that sometimes happen on a crew. We can't control sometimes supply chains into this country because a lot of things are imported. So sometimes there's delays. And so you don't know exactly when you're going to have access to your new property. And your ROI can be delayed for a little while. So if you're someone who needs to start making money immediately after your purchase, perhaps a new construction build not for you. Maybe getting into something that's already done and can be rented immediately might be for you. So these are all some of the things that you want to think about so that you're making the best decision for you. And we get to choose a knowledgeable realtor to guide us. So let's talk, even though I've spoken a little bit about it, about why it's so great to have a realtor at your side. So, and what does that look like? What are the things that we do for you? Tonight, I have GGT and I have Tomas Celar. Hope I did that right, Thomas. Did I do all right? Okay, good. So the three of us are all sales experts with RealtorDR. We all come at the sales processes with our individual strengths, and we also have the strength of an incredible team behind us. The team at RealtorDR is incredibly diverse, very knowledgeable, and I guarantee you that if I don't know the answer, someone in my office does, and they are more than happy to jump in and support at any time. So we get to have a relationship. If you're ready to jump in, we're going to have a relationship together, and we get to talk about what that relationship gets to look like. We get to be mature about it. So we're going to explain the different relationships that you might have both with us, with your builder, with your lawyer, things like that. We're going to help familiarize you with the current market. Okay. What's happening? Why are things the way that they are? We're going to explain the local real estate practices and procedures. They are different. We are not same as Canada, the United States, and things here are different. And we're more than happy to walk you through that so that you can understand why they're different and how they're different and how that affects you. Okay. We're going to be taking care of coordinating all of the appointments to go see the sites. We're going to be making sure that you stay up to date if you do purchase something. All right. We're going to make sure that your project or your property is going to have an accurate title. Okay, it's incredibly important here in this country. We're going to carefully explain all of the different forms to you. Legally, all of our contracts here come in Spanish. They will come in English for you as well, and we can even get them translated into French if you need. However, the legal contract is the contract in Spanish. So we're going to make sure that you understand that. Okay, and we're going to work very hard to make sure that we explain all your post-purchase activities and responsibilities, and we're going to keep confidential any information that you designate in writing as confidential so that we are creating trust. Okay, so in return, we do ask a few things from you. If we're going to get into this relationship, it gets to be a two-way street. We need you as a client to communicate responsibly and honestly. Okay, so you need to let us know either if you're having cold feet or all of a sudden, your timelines have been pushed back. We're not purchasing now. I did talk to, some other agent here or there. All right. You're going to promptly inform us of any changes in the timing. Okay. We're going to enter into a contract in good faith, and we're going to make every effort to adhere to all negotiated contingencies. We have a wonderful thing at RealtorDR called a buyer representation agreement. And so if you start working with an agent, whether it's me, Gigi, Tomas, or anyone else in the office, at some point when things start to get serious, we're going to ask to put a ring on it, which is our buyer representation agreement. And all that states is that for the time that we're going to work moving forward, that it's just us. Okay. And it's really, really important. You can stop that contract at any time in writing, but it just means that from the moment we sign it, and hopefully until the moment that you purchase your property, it's just us. All right. And anything else, we're going to inform any other real estate agents that you are represented by us. We're also going to inform the builders that you're represented by us. They clearly understand our relationship. It's clearly defined, and everyone gets to move forward happily. Now, the juicy bits. We are now going to step into the part of tonight where we start to dive into the 3 properties that we promised to speak to you about tonight and go in depth on each one of them. So I'd like to start first with GGT. She's going to be presenting 222, which is an incredible development in Encuentro. GGT has been with RealtorDR since the very beginning. Gigi, how long have you been in Cabarete?
11 years.
11 years. So she's got 11. And she is an incredible member of our team. Again, a founding member. She's been there longer than I have. And her local knowledge, and especially of Playa Encuentro, is better than anyone else on the North Coast. So, Gigi, I'm going to hand it over to you. Take it away.
Thanks, Michelle. Hello to everyone that's here on this webinar. Thank you for coming out and listening to us. I'm super excited to present 222 to you. This is a project that I'm just really passionate about, and I'm excited to see. And more than anything else, it's in my stomping grounds. It's in my community. Like Michelle mentioned, I am the local Playa Encuentro expert. I've been living there for 11 years. I started surfing when I moved there 11 years ago, so I'm now an advanced beginner. And maybe you can tell from my accent, I'm from the States, born and raised in Miami. But although I'm Dominican, I did move to the Cabarete area 11 years ago. And probably like some of you that are here listening to this webinar, I came to Cabarete, I fell in love with the lifestyle, I fell in love with the community, the people who live there, and more than anything, the opportunity to grow, to start different businesses, and to do new projects. I've been with RealtorDR since day one, so we're almost at 4 years now. And yeah, I'm going to jump right into the 222 condominiums and residences by Playa, in Playa Encuentro. So before I begin, I want to talk a little bit about Playa Encuentro. You can see in the slide, it's like that right photo of the beach. That is the beach of Playa Encuentro. It's absolutely beautiful. I think you can go to the next slide, Michelle. So these are all actual photos from the Playa Encuentro community. It is a surf beach. It is the most consistent wave in the entire Dominican Republic, and it's a very friendly wave. The water is shallow. New surfers, if you can go back to the Encuentro one. Beginner surfers can go to Encuentro and, paddle and splash around. And when they fall off their board, they can just kind of walk back up. So it is a really friendly place to learn how to surf, and you can surf there year round. There's also other water sports. There's snorkeling. There's, little underwater caves where you can go scuba diving. People go fishing there. People go, like I said, kite surfing there. But despite it being a water sport community, it has a really rich, just kind of diverse community. There's everything from retirees, there's everything from digital nomads, people who work from home and work online. There's young families, there's couples that are just kind of traveling and living all over the world or setting up shop. There's entrepreneurs, investors. So there really is all kinds of people. Even if they're not interested in surfing, they love being in this community because it is a seaside community. And although the entire Playa Encuentro isn't a gated community, you're still going to find all the amenities that you would find in a gated community, like multiple gyms, multiple restaurants, a little bit of nightlife, and just kind of places to enjoy yourself, walk the dog, go for a jog, go for a walk. And of course, you're right next to the beach. So 222 is about 2.5 years in the making. It does take some time to create these complexes. It, needs everything from permits to design. And this entire complex was designed for the kind of people who love the Cabarete and Sosua area and really want to spend their time there, either for rentals or things like this. So I'm going to go through the amenities. One thing that makes 222 special is that there is a storage unit for each of the condos in this complex. So in that storage unit, maybe you'll put surfboards or kiting gear, or maybe if you're using the condo as a vacation home, you can put all your personal items in your storage unit while you rent out your property while you're away. There's a large pool with a barbecue area. There's guest bathrooms, an outdoor shower, and beautiful Coralina flooring, which is nice because when the sun is really hot, the floor won't be burning because of the natural coral floor all over the place. One thing that I think is really cool about this complex is it has an on-site gym. So it'll have your full set of dumbbells, a squat rack, some area where you can do floor exercises. There won't be many cardio machines just because we are in the ocean. And so, you can go for a walk outside or for a swim. But there's going to be a place where residents and people who are renting can go and get a workout privately. There are 2 other gyms in the Playa Encuentro area, but it's still nice to have this space. There are 2 glass elevators per buildings. So when all of 222 is completely built, there will be 4 elevators, which is really nice. So you don't have to worry about being in the penthouse and climbing up the stairs with all your groceries. And now we're going to my favorite thing about the 222 condominiums and residences, and that is the co-working space, the office space. So now in 2023, 2024, so many of us work from home, and it's really nice to have an at-home office, but it's even better to have a place that's close to home where you can go and take a private call like this. Maybe have a conference call, or maybe just have a little bit of space away from your family just so you can get some work done. And that's just going to be right there in the common areas. It'll have a big screen TV, it'll have a printer, it'll have Wi-Fi in the common areas, which is great for both renters and guests. So it really was designed for people who are going to be living there on time. And then, of course, backup generator, backup water. It is the Dominican Republic, so it is important to make sure that the places that you live in do have access and backup access to things like water, electricity, internet, and things like this. Next slide, please, Michelle. So yeah, I just went over the communal areas. I guess we should have gone to it before. But you'll see in that first photo, there's the gym, there's the 2 bathrooms, there is the long pool, 19,200 gallon pool, a communal barbecue area with an island. So when you do have people over or a barbecue, they don't have to go into your personal space to use the restroom or anything like this. There's also going to be a reception area. So if the homeowners association decide to have like an on-site property management, there is a separate office space for somebody who would be like an administrator of the building. Next slide, please. So I'm just going to start with the 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. Basically all the units have the same layout on the first, second, and third floor. So you'll see that you walk in, there's a nice open layout space. And just this space right here where you'll see the living room, the dining room, the kitchen, just that is the size of a normal studio. So it's not a tight space. There's also an enclosed laundry room that somebody can use as a pantry if they don't want to have a laundry room, but laundry rooms tend to do really well for rental properties. There is a second bathroom that has access from the common areas, and then the master bedroom has their own private ensuite full bathroom. From the ground floor, as you can see in this bird's eye view, from the ground floor units, you can walk straight out from the balcony into the pool area. But then for the second and third floor units, you'll have an extra large private terrace. Next slide, please. The 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom, however, it starts on the 3rd floor. So the 3rd floor will look just like the 2-bedroom that we saw, but then the 4th floor has a spiral staircase that goes up to the 4th floor, and then it's this full, beautiful 1-bedroom, kind of like a private 1-bedroom condo. So that 1-bedroom has a walk-in closet, it has its own big bathroom. There's even a nice foyer where you can, maybe put an office or just some kind of receiving space for guests, a pantry, anything like that. And then of course, outside, it'll be a rooftop, it'll have a kitchen, it'll have a nice common area, a little bit like a living room, and it'll have a jacuzzi, which is just like a jacuzzi, but the water's not hot because it is the DR. So jacuzzis are a little bit more popular because you kind of want to cool off instead of heat down. But of course, you could put in a water heater and make that water warm if you wanted. Next slide, please. So yeah, this complex is only 300 meters from the beach. So you're basically walking to the ocean, to swimmable beach, and just kind of beautiful sunsets and wild horses and cows and things like this. That's a 300-meter walk from the 222. Also, right next door to 222, there is a hotel that'll have a restaurant. So if you're, at home and you want to just go downstairs and get a nice breakfast, that's literally right next door. There's an upscale convenience store where you can get good wine and cheese, and that's just on the way to the beach. And then, of course, in the Playa Encuentro community, you're going to find multiple markets, a food truck park, a plaza with gyms. I actually have a little sandwich and salad shop in the same Playa Encuentro neighborhood. So there's a lot to do when you walk around. I just want to go back to that 3-bedroom, if you can go back one more. One thing that's really interesting about this penthouse apartment is that you could ideally have a 2-bedroom plus the 1-bedroom upstairs. So let's say you only want a 1-bedroom condo, but you want to generate rental income from the 2-bedroom. You could ideally live in the upstairs section and then rent out the downstairs, or vice versa. Or you could have them as a full 3-bedroom unit. So this is nice if you are looking for some rental income, but you do want to have your own private residence. You can kind of have best of both worlds. Before I finish up my presentation, I just wanted to say that there are 3 things that make 222 completely unique. One of them is that it is set to finish on time. Just like Michelle mentioned, there are unforeseen things that may cause a pre-construction project to be delayed. But 222 is completely funded. It's not relying on sales. So it's actually ahead in its construction. If you go to our website, RealtorDR.com/222, you'll be able to see progress updates of the construction. So right now they've already filled in the foundation. They're already starting to build up the walls to the second level, and you can keep up to date with that in real time. The second thing that makes this unit really special is that it really was designed for people to live there full time. Although it is in a neighborhood where rental income is very popular, or having a vacation home is very popular, everything about this residence was designed so people can feel comfortable there year round. So there's balconies, there's storage units, there's the office space, the gym, and then of course in a beautiful location and a very spacious condo. And yeah, thank you so much for listening to my presentation about 222. If you have any questions, you can write in the chat. You can email me, gigi@realtordr.com, and I'd be happy to share with you the rental potential for this project and any other questions that you might have. Oh, wait, I also wanted to say that for the next 2 months, so only for 2023, we are offering a 10% discount for buyers. So feel free to message me or ask questions about any of the details about that. But for right now, we are offering a 10% discount on the prices. So thank you so much, Michelle, for having me. And I'm looking forward to answering any of your questions in the chat.
All right. Thank you, Gigi. So now I would love to introduce Thomas, or Tom, however you want to say hi. Thomas is going to be showing us a project called Serenity Sosua. All right. So Tom, I'm going to give you a second to introduce yourself, and then we'll jump in.
Fantastic. Good evening, everyone. Wherever you are in the world, we're very thankful for joining us. And it's always nice when there are people that want to learn something about this beautiful country and the opportunities that it can offer. I live here for a little bit over a year now. I'm from the Czech Republic, and it's been a ride. It's very different in almost every level. There are so many amazing things that one would never think of that could happen, and it never stops to amaze me in a good way and in a neutral way, not in a bad way. So the Ministry of Tourism says that the Dominican Republic has it all, and it is very true. So many of those things Gigi and Michelle have already covered, but it is amazing how fast you can get from a beach to the tallest mountain in the Caribbean, standing over 3,000 meters above the sea level. That's amazing. That's almost twice as tall as the tallest mountain we have in the Czech Republic. Anyway, so I want to talk to you about this project in Serenity Sosua. Michelle, if we can go to the next slide before we go to the video, that would be fantastic.
You got it.
It is only 8 apartments in total, so it's a boutique building. It does have an elevator, so that's also great. I will now let Michelle play the video because it's going to say more than I can. It will show the renders and everything, so I will be quiet for now and let myself speak. Hi, it's Tom again, and I'm pleased to welcome you here at Serenity Sosua, a collection of just 8 units within a boutique building. I don't know if anyone can hear anything, but I can. So I will talk over it, which I thought I wouldn't have to. But as you can see here with the pool, all the apartments, I will then go into detail about the layout and everything. But whatever you can see in the renders, all the recessed lightings and nice floor-to-ceiling wardrobes that are done by carpenters locally, all the nice fixtures and the beautiful kitchens, that will be done by the end of next year. I will go into the timeline in a little bit.
The tropical surroundings. The primary bedroom boasts its own ensuite bathroom, while both bathrooms feature walk-in rain showers and expansive vanity mirrors.
One moment.
Indulge in the communal pool deck, a perfect oasis for unwinding under the Dominican sun. Your new home provides 24-hour electricity, water, and high-speed internet connectivity. Each unit comes with a parking space covered by solar panels, and the elevator offers access to each floor for your convenience. Serenity Sosua guarantees a high quality of comfort, style, and living. If you're excited to learn more or have any questions, don't hesitate and reach out to me at tom@realtordr.com. Contact me today and let's make this your reality.
Do you guys want me to, shall I back that up and we'll see it again, part of it?
I wouldn't take the risk, so I will kind of go over the most important things. I'm sure that whoever will be interested in learning more about the project can visit the website and see this video themselves. But I will just cover more or less what I would go through in the video. So what has been told is that there is 8 units in total. They are meant to provide you a nice homey feeling. So these units will most likely do very well in rentals. They're found in Sosua. I will speak about the location in just a little bit, but they are meant for living. It is with the layout, it is with the standard, it is with the nice balconies, the shared areas, and also the quality of life. Whether it's the backup generator, which is one thing, but the other thing is to have solar panels. Those will be on parts of the roof, but also the parking spaces will be covered by solar panels, which is great because it will keep your cars cool, but it will also, in ideal way, very lower or minimize the electricity bill for the owners, which is fantastic. The finishes throughout the building will be quite exquisite and thought throughout. I might actually at this point mention a little bit about the developer. Michelle, can you just go one slide further? The developer has over 20 years with real estate experience in Marbella, which is one of the very luxurious places in Spain. So they had been not only building and selling real estate, but they had also visited the Dominican Republic almost 20 years ago now. And that's when Martin actually bought some of these lots, built some villas, and now the time has finally come to build these apartments, which he is very proud to do. And since he is of German origin, I'm pretty sure that he will actually be on top of everything. And that being said, usually people would maybe leave some of the permits for later stages of the construction, but he did not take the chance. So as of yesterday, actually, he informed me that he has every single permit that is necessary to complete the construction ready. So they are set to begin construction next month. So now the plot is leveled. Also, one thing that is important to say, he already has a good construction company signed. So they are set to finish more or less in about 11 months once they break ground, which is fantastic, because if you indeed are planning to either move into your new place for next winter or rent it out for high season, it will be available. Also, speaking of maybe I will talk about this unit for a little bit. As you can see, all of the 8 apartments are 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. They all have 2 balconies, one of them being in the living area, the other one being in the primary bedroom. There will be porcelain tiles throughout the apartment. There will be German fixtures of Hans Grohe in the kitchen, in the bathrooms. It will be pretty neat. Can we go to the type B? As you can see, there are 2 types of apartments. Type A is 101 square meters, which is roughly 1,200 square feet. Type B is 98 square meters, so around 1,100 square feet. So the units are fairly large. Sometimes you even find 2-bedroom units that are 2/3 of this size. So it gives you space. Just like the units in 222, they are spacious. They are thought through to make perfect sense. One of the bathrooms are shared for the guest and the secondary bedroom. The other bathroom is ensuite. You also have laundry room, which, like Gigi mentioned, for rentals is great because people want to wash their clothes when they stay for more than 3 days, which a lot of people here do. And it's a must for living. One of the units, it's type 8, that has more of a closed, enclosed kitchen, while the type B has it fairly connected to the living room. And the kitchen spaces are pretty big, so you can cook whatever meal you would want to prepare for you, your friends, or your family. Going to the next slide, Michelle, please. I want to touch a little bit on the location. As you can see, this is a recently taken picture of the lot. You can see the town of Sosua in the background. You can see the ocean, a little bit of the Mount Isabela in Puerto Plata. The location is very safe. If you don't wanna cook all the time, get breakfast, lunch, or dinner, the nearest restaurant is about 0 minutes away. It's literally just across the street, so that's convenient. Supermarket is about 1 minute drive away, which is exactly where I am right now in the office. So it's a great location. If there is a supermarket close nearby our office, the hospital, the nearest hospital, is 1 minute drive away as well. International School of Sosua, which is one of the best international schools here. It is certified for Canadian, US, and Europe education standards. So that's pretty neat. Some of the children that I know from my colleagues, they do love the school. I'm quite impressed. You very hardly hear children about being excited going to school. So that's nice to hear. There is 3 beaches that are about 5 minutes drive from the Serenity Sosua project. It's Playa Alicia, Sosua, and Playa Chiquita. Also, maybe 3 minutes, there is the biggest infinity pool, saltwater infinity pool of Central America. It's in Sosua Ocean Village in Santa Fe. You can buy a daily pass. It's quite amazing. It's over 1 million gallons of water. It's been recently built. Where Gigi's 222 project in Encuentro is, it's about 9 minutes drive from this area. And the airport, which is very important, is only 14 minutes. To Puerto Plata Airport, there is I think 16 different flights, and there is more and more coming every now and then. They're adding flights. I've heard that they also might be, or there's some talks about adding another runway, or actually making the airport bigger. So that's going to be exciting to bring more traffic in here. There is so many people that already are excited about this area. I myself live in Sosua, and we quite like it because it's vibrant, it's nice. You have everything that you need very nearby. Maybe if we can go to the next slide, you will see where the project will be. You cannot see the solar coverage, but it will be there. We have only 6 units available right now. They're starting at just $100 below $200,000, so $199,900, which is pretty affordable. That puts you less than $2,000 per square meter, which is quite amazing anywhere in the world. The apartments will be done, like I said, in about 11 months. They will be featuring all the finishes, kitchen, bathrooms done. There will be, however, no furniture, but we are currently working with very good designers on setting up a furniture package that will cost around $15,000. So when you decide, you can have a turnkey solution for you to move in. I'm thinking maybe, Michelle, if you can move one more slide. I think that's the last one. So you can see some of the finishes of the interiors, whether it's the porcelain tiles, the hidden curtain rods, or built-in wardrobes, recessed lightings. All of that will be featured in the final product. And as I got to know Martin, the developer, he will make sure that everything will be done far beyond the standards of anything that's being built or being built on regular basis here in the north coast of the Dominican Republic. And that's a great price. There will be an elevator, which is not standard in all the projects. It's actually so does happen that all 3 of the projects that we are mentioning do have elevators in their buildings, but that's because we're only talking about the best projects here on the North Coast currently. I don't know if I'm missing all that much. There is one more slide, I do believe, and that is the available units. So you can see there is still one available at the $200,000. One of the ground floors and one of the penthouses have been sold. The payment plan is fairly flexible, so we can talk about that if you send us a message and go through that. There is at this moment no financing available in terms of long term, but we could talk about maybe 20%, 25% to be financed over 1 or 2 years to give you some time to pay it off. I think that is all I needed to say at this moment. It's going to be a very nice project. I'm excited to bring this opportunity to you. It's not going to last very long because there is only 8 now, or in total, there is only 6 left. So hurry up.
Thanks, Dom. All right. And so now wrapping us all up is myself, and I'm going to jump into Laguna City. And we are going to be talking about this incredible project that is up and on its way. So welcome to Laguna City. So Laguna City is inside of a larger project, which is called Sosua Ocean Village, which has been around since 2007. They have constructed many, many villas. They've done other condominium projects, all within the Sosua Ocean Village property. There are incredible amenities, which I'll get to in a little bit. But this particular project is going to see us have opportunities to purchase units that are 40 square meters, 45 and 59 square meter 1-bedrooms. So we've got mostly studios and 1-bedroom units, which can be ideal when it comes to renting to people on vacation. And we can reserve with very little amount of money. So let's have a quick look at Sosua Ocean Village from the air. So here's the map of SOV. Down here at the bottom, you have the main road from Captivated to Sosua, and here is the Laguna City project. It is a giant island that is being constructed, which is going to have incredible and wonderful amenities. It is going to have lush trees and plant life. It is a great walking area, and there's barbecue areas. There'll be a cafe, things like that, and pools. There will be a total of 171 units built. They are currently on the first phase, which consists of these first 3 buildings right here. And they're just about up to the 2nd floor of construction at the moment. Then as each project finishes, the next 3 will start. And there are now currently a number of lots available for sale for you to build your own home on. So this project is super interesting because it gives you both ends of the spectrum. You can either get a small studio 1-bedroom condominium, or you can also look at purchasing a lot and designing and building your own home with wonderful architects, which of course we will help you find. Now, moving on to SOV. SOV has incredible amenities that make it incredibly easy to rent and attract visitors to want to stay in your unit. So right here we have the Laguna Water Park. So it's an awesome playground for both big and little kids. And there is a wonderful restaurant on site. As owners, you get 50% off the entrance to some of the larger parks in Sosua Ocean Village, and you get 10% off at all of their restaurants. So this is a great big attraction. It is wonderful, and it is right next to your investment. As you move further into Sosua Ocean Village, there's an area that was known as the El Porto area, which contains another smaller, child pool with a couple of water slides, and it contains a 25-meter lap pool. There is a gym there that would be available for you to get a membership at half price if you are an owner in Sosua Ocean Village. And it also gives you access to a sandy beach. So all of that you have access to. Obviously, anything like the gym, you have the half price membership, but that whole entire area you have access to free of charge as an owner, not your guests, but you as an owner. And then, as Tom was mentioning earlier, the magnificent Santa Fe, which opened about approximately just over a year ago, and it does contain one of the largest saltwater pools in Central America, and it's impressive. And you also get half off on any entry into that park as an owner. And your entry fee is actually usable as a consumable. So you're basically just prepaying for some food and drink as you get in. But they are amazing attractions. There's also a tennis center. There's other like big and little kid play areas that go around. Sosua Ocean Village is incredibly safe. The roads are well done. All of the electrical has been put in under the ground, which also is a great thing for the longevity of the project and for your infrastructure as a potential future owner. Okay, so here's a quick look at the layout of each of the condo buildings. So all 9 will be laid out this exact same way. In the middle, you have over the entryway are going to be the 3 small studios. Okay, these ones start, I do believe when we get to the when we get to one of the further slides, I'll let you know, but I think all of the second floor ones are gone. So we're starting at the 3rd floor, which is at $112,000, and SOV will also offer financing. I'll talk more about that in a sec. So moving out sideways from the middle, we come to the 47-meter square studios. You can see, okay, the different pricing is at the different levels. There are still these, there are a few of these ones available. And then flanking the outsides of all the buildings will be the 1-bedroom units. And these ones are quite popular. So if you're interested in a 1-bedroom in Laguna SOV in this particular phase, there's only 3 left, just so you know. So we'll keep moving forward. Here's a beautiful aerial view of a render of the island. You can see they've got a very large pool that's going to be over here. What the render doesn't quite show is that there's a beautiful large pavilion, and they're going to be setting up a cafe, I believe, somewhere over in this area. And this area they're going to leave as, I believe, as a live pool where there can be some fishing and things happening, as well as the lagoon moat that wraps around the entire island, which will be full of fish and live things, so you don't need to stress about mosquitoes. They've thought about all of those things, and it is wonderfully engineered. Here's another different angle just for you to get an idea of what the island's going to look like. And here would be the back end. This would be where you get to enter. Everyone gets their own parking space, and they generally do a very good job of planning out so that everyone is comfortable and can move easily in and out of the project. All right, let's talk a little bit of money. So here you can see we've got the studios and the 1-bedrooms. They all go up in price by floor. At this point, okay, breaking ground has happened, and we're rapidly approaching the end of grade construction. So this is a project that's already happening. Sosua Ocean Village, like I said, has a wonderful track record of starting and completing all of their projects since 2007. So it's an incredibly reliable project. And if you would like to jump into this project, you would be coming in at this place. So all of these, which is basically the 50% mark. Okay, so depending, and the 2s, for example, like the 1-bedroom units that are still available, there's 1 ground floor at 150, and there are 2 second floor units at 155. So if you were coming in at any of these units, for example, so you'd start off with your 5,000, you'd move to your offer to purchase, and then the promise of sale and breaking grounds would come together, and you would sign your promise of sale. And then you would wait until they call the end of grade construction, which looks to be about 2 months away. Then this piece would be due. So this is an example of that pricing breakdown. This is what it looks like for Laguna City. It's going to be a little bit different for 222. It'll be a little bit different for Serenity, Sosua. And again, this is why you have us to guide you through all of these different scenarios that every single builder will come up with. So this is generally how it looks like. You have your reservation. Shortly after that, your promise of sale would need to come in as well. In this case, this project breaking ground. Grade construction, again, they're halfway up the building, so there's only another month or 2 before they call for this payment to come in. And then you don't pay the last part until you get your keys. Okay. Now, Laguna City and Sosua Ocean Village have created something wonderful. They have gone to the trouble of getting something called Comforteur. It is very difficult to acquire. Not all developments get it, but it is an incentive from the government, a tax incentive for foreign investment. And what that means to you, very simply, we can get into this in much more detail, but the short story is that you will not have to pay your title transfer tax, and you will be exempt from property taxes for approximately 10 to 15 years. Now, this is only good for the original person on the title. So you would be the owner. It's not transferable down the line. So it would be your specific advantage as you step into this new project. So you're going to invest. You want to jump into Laguna City because you'd like to make a return on your investment. You'd like your money to make you money, which is a very smart thing to do. So we wanted to break it down for you. Oh, get back here numbers and see what this looks like. So let's go back to our 1 bedroom, let's say at 150,000. It's right here. So what we've done here is we've broken down what's going to be more or less the average nightly rate. Now, how do we know this? How do we know what that is? One, there's lots of information around on other typical Airbnbs. However, Sosua Ocean Village has already done a trial run of this setup, and it's called Esmeralda. And it has been completed for a few years now, and it is almost an exact copy of what these units in Laguna City are going to be like, but without the island. And so we have a very, very accurate reference to how much they will rent out and at what price point. So you can be assured that these numbers are fairly accurate. So we'll take this 1 bedroom at 150,000. Yes, please. Thank you very much. And it's going to rent out for average 109. So we have high seasons and low seasons here. So the rate will differ, but this is going to be your average. We generally have people estimate somewhere around 60% occupancy. Okay. So here, as we move forward, your annual income will be around $24,000. Obviously, that's your gross. So then your net profitability will equal about $18,600. These are the bills that are subtracted to get us to your net. So we subtract our electricity, which could be around $200 for 1 bedroom, because there's 2 AC units in there. AC creates it needs a lot of electricity. Your internet, phone, and cable will be somewhere around $45, and your maintenance is going to be around $202 for the 1 bedroom. You can see the larger studios at $158 and the smaller studios at $137 for your maintenance fees. So here we give a column of what your total overhead is, and then your cap rate, which is basically your projected, profit. Pardon me, your projected profit over the year. All right. These units will be easy to manage from abroad. You can choose to manage it yourself remotely. You can choose to set up your Airbnb perhaps and work with a property management company. Also, if you want to, you can put it straight into the Sosua Ocean Village rental pool, and they can take care of everything for you if that's what you choose to do. Okay, there are other property management companies that will do everything for you as well. And again, we have some experience with different property management companies, and we'd be happy to recommend a few to you if you did not want to go with Sosua Ocean Village and rent directly through them. Okay. So here is a quick look at the availability. All right. So you can see here, whatever is in green is still available. Whatever's in yellow has a reservation on it, and they're in the process of signing the offer to purchase and moving their money so that they'll then sign the promise of sale. Once the promise of sale is signed, then those yellow ones will go red. Okay, and they will no longer be available. So you can see there's more studios. So the 1 bedrooms were very popular. Don't know why, but 1 bedrooms are definitely popular. Studios are also great and rented out. They rent out very, very well. So they are just as profitable as a 1 bedroom. We just happen to have a lot of people in this first round who really wanted the larger units. So great. So if you're interested in getting in on this, there are still a few available. Studios, there are plenty. 1 bedrooms, not so much. So you want to make sure that you jump in on this because there's only 3 left, and I don't see them lasting over Christmas. All right. So we've pretty much given you a great overview. There is a lot of possibility to go much farther in depth on every single one of our properties that we presented tonight, as well as the entire process. But tonight we wanted to make sure that you had a great idea of what it's like to get into the pre-construction process, what is available. And now we'd love to open up the floor to all of your wonderful questions, because we've seen in the chat, there's been a lot of great questions coming in. So I think it's time we pull up the Q&A and get it open. Is there anyone who wants to drop some of the questions in the Q&A? And absolutely. So we have a question from another agent, which is, are we open to co-broking? And absolutely, at RealtorDR, we cherish our relationships with all of the other brokerages that we have around here. And we thoroughly believe that working together is a way to make sure that we serve our clients the best, and that we also maintain our incredible, wonderful community that we have here in Cabarete Sosua. I think, I'm going to go back to our chat because we had,
there was
yeah.
one, sorry.
Go, Gigi.
There was one question from Julian Kornacki about to ask about, please talk a bit about hands-off maintenance service, including perhaps advertising, etc. So I'm assuming that this is about property management, like what it would be like for your property to be taken care of while you're away. One of the really cool things about the Cabarete and Sosua area is that it is more than anything kind of a tourism area. So property management companies and people who can take care of your property, there's quite a few options. Michelle has a property management company. I know that Thomas and I also end up having to be property managers sometime as well, just because we want to give the best service possible to our clients. So it is more than possible to own a property here and just completely ignore it while you're away, and know that it's generating income and being taken care of, and all the payments being paid on time.
Yes. I think we had another question from Sergey back in our chat a little bit earlier. I don't know if he's still here. And it was, hang on. Okay. So his question was, if we compare two properties, let's say two condos, one that's already available for sale and what could be an identical one breaking ground and is going to be built on schedule at a future date, all other things being equal, are they going to go in the market at the same price? Or building is more or less expensive for the buyer. So it's very rare, I think, for two identical things to go up one after the other. We could use Laguna City in this instance, simply because they will build 3 and then they'll build 3 more and they'll build more after that. So the way that I can answer this is that it is more advantageous to purchase sooner rather than later. Generally, from the pre-construction perspective, SOV is going to be adding 5% to the cost of each different phase. So if you wait and you're going to get into phase 2, you're going to pay 5% more than you would have to get in at phase 1. Now, if we look at the track record from Esmeralda, which is also one of the few places we can say is an actual almost identical property, there were units there. So when Esmeralda happened a while ago, we can't go back in time. They were built somewhere around, like the 60 to 90,000 range for studios and 1-bedrooms. And they have sold after that within a year and a bit. The 1-bedrooms went from, say, around 90 to 120, I do believe. I don't have exact numbers here, so do forgive. But that's just an example of
160 now, Michelle, 160.
And yes, they're listed at 160 now. So just to give you an idea of the profit that's been generated, the value that's been created, and how real estate has worked. The old saying in real estate is the best time to buy real estate was yesterday, and the next best time is today. So when it comes to pre-construction versus already there, if you're not comparing identical buildings like you would be in SOV, you really do have to consider all of the other factors. And that's something you want to sit down with your realtor and walk through the pros and the cons of each property. That's, again, something that we are here to do with you, with knowledge, so that you can make the best decision for you. But there's no exact answer for that question. Do we have any other questions in the Q&A? I see something got dropped in there. Did it not?
There was one question about the penthouse in Serenity. Layout is actually exactly the same as the other 2-bedroom. It still is only 2 bedrooms, but it has about 40 square meters on the rooftop, where I'm pretty sure, as far as we looked with the drone, you will be able to see some of the ocean, some of the greenery, the mountains in the back. So it's going to be pretty nice. And all of the units do have super large windows, so you can have tons of light coming in. That's why the building has been positioned the way it has been.
Awesome. Thank you, Thomas. Are there any other questions from anyone? Does SOV have an HOA? Yes, of course they do. So let me pop back over here. So you can see that the 1-bedrooms have a maintenance fee of $202. Okay, the larger studios have $158 per month, and then $137. What that covers is it covers your garbage, your sewage. You get a certain number of cubic meters of water per month. And it covers your 24/7 security and all the maintenance and electricity of your common areas, such as that amazing island that you get to be living around. Okay. So yes, we are definitely going to send you emails about the rates and the sizes.
We have a question about how far is the closest beach from Sosua? So Sosua is a beachside neighborhood. So almost anywhere you are in Sosua, you're going to be able to walk to the beach within 15 minutes. And I think the same could be said about all 3 of these communities. They're all seaside complexes. So you're feeling the ocean breeze pretty much 330 days a year. And you're able to walk to the ocean in less than 10 minutes for all 3 of these complexes.
Absolutely. All right. So I don't see any other questions coming in. What I'd like to share with all of you now as we wrap it up for the night is that now is an incredible time to start that relationship with your realtor and start asking the questions. Even if you're curious, start asking questions now, because we're about to move into our high season and there's going to be a lot of property that's going to move in the next few months. So just as I was speaking before about the highs and lows that may happen in your rentals, it also happens in real estate here, because obviously wintertime, we have a ton of people coming here, and we also have a ton of people coming here wanting to purchase. So now in November is probably the perfect time. And I want to encourage everyone to get in touch with their realtor. And I'm assuming that most of you are connected to someone here at RealtorDR. For the agents that are online, we would love also for you to reach out to myself or Gigi or Tom, and so that we can share all of these properties with you and your clients. But for our clients here at RealtorDR, just know that we are ready. We are waiting for you to answer any and all of your questions, and we are ready to help you make your dream property or your investment a reality. So on behalf of myself and my colleagues, I want to thank every one of you for coming, and we can't wait to see you on the next webinar. I will announce it. Keep your eyes posted on social media. There'll be one happening next month in December to round out the year. Have a great night, everyone.
Have a great evening and night.
Bye.